Why is this sticking up? Come on. Hello, good to see you again. How do you do? Are you doing good? Hello, if you've never seen me before, hi, my name is Youkeyy, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. A one, a two, a three. Go. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I told myself that I was not going to put on a wig today, and then I ended up putting on this scarf and tried to be cute with the bow, and it just ended up frustrating me even more than a wig would. But it's raining, it's super cold outside, so I just figured I'd do a cozy video. And I know technically like the start of a new year is, for some people, that first day is just another, regular day, but I think just the idea of having a clean slate, a new start. I think just that idea alone is really exciting. I'm gonna take this opportunity to mix two foundations and see what concoction I can come up with. I don't know about you guys, but 2017 left me feeling, I'm gonna say, pretty reflective. I don't know if this foundation mix is a good idea. Okay, probably not good to mix them in equal amounts. Hate mixing foundations, you guys. I don't know if you're aware. Reflecting on my life, reflecting on where I've come from, reflecting on where I want to go, decisions I've made, and how to make more decisions that make me feel fulfilled and happy, like I'm truly achieving my purpose on this earth. It's funny because towards the beginning of the year, every year, I tend to feel pretty down because I always used to say, oh, it's my year, this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen, and then a lot of times nothing would happen and circumstances would come up that would make me feel really down. So I kind of stopped saying it. I stopped saying, this is my year, because I noticed that every time I said it, it would just all go left. But even without me saying it, I still think it, because naturally I'm just that kind of person where I want the best to happen. So I will dream it up in a way. I feel like every year I always tell myself I want to get closer to God. And this is not to make anyone feel uncomfortable or anything like that. This is just who I am. You're getting to know me a little bit better. And naturally, I am a very spiritual person. And I think I've mentioned this before, but usually every year I always say, like, I want to get closer to God. I don't think this year is any different, but there's definitely something different about this year already. Even, is that an airplane? Even before 2018 started, I could just feel a shift. I didn't know exactly what it was. I still don't, but something is different. And once I can put my finger on it, then I can explain it better, because at this point, I don't know what it is. I'm actually curious to know what some of you guys' 2018 goals are. I mean, I have goals in general that I want to pursue. I don't like putting things out there before putting them into action. Like, I don't want to say something and then have it not come to fruition or not be able to execute it. So I'd rather just keep quiet about it. That's basically how I am. And I used to not be like that. But sometimes life will teach you a few things. This was when I had went on a trip with family. Towards the ending of last year, I felt this intense sense of gratitude. It wasn't necessarily something that came from my mind. I think it was definitely a different kind of experience, because it was something I've never experienced before, where this overwhelming feeling of gratitude just took over, and so much so that it drove me to tears. And for this year, I am really curious to know what kind of content you guys would like to see from me. So let me know down below in the description box, because I know a few people have requested, people have said, like, oh, you should do videos about nursing, or you should do videos about your life experiences. I'm back. I had to take a quick break, but I just wanted to, I think what I was asking you guys was what kind of content you want to see this year. This is the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette, by the way. Granted, there is content that I want to put out, but I also want to put out content that you guys will enjoy. I've said this many times. I'm taking the color Princess. So I think before I left, I was mentioning how some of you have asked me to do videos about nursing, my experience as a registered nurse and specifically as an ER nurse. I don't mind, but it is important to me to put out content that you guys will enjoy. And if it's only like, 5 or 3 people asking, like, I don't feel like it's necessary for me to have to get on YouTube to speak about it. I can easily do it on Snapchat or wherever. But yeah, I don't know. If you guys are curious and you want me to do a video about, nursing school, getting a job, what it's like being a nurse, then just let me know down below in the comment section. Trying to be cognizant of what it is you guys want to see. Another thing is too, it's really important for me to put out content that I am passionate about. I am passionate about beauty and makeup, but I'm also passionate about motivating, inspiring, and encouraging people. More inspiring and encouraging than anything. I think probably number 1 would be encouraging. Number 2 would be inspiring. For me, I find it fulfilling to encourage people in areas of life where I struggled to find encouragement. And that's why I put up that video about social media causing anxiety and depression and all of that, because it's very easy to get wrapped up in other people's lives and their highlight reels that they put up on the internet. And to me, it's really important to, encourage people while being able to slay. For a while, my motto is, don't be one of those people whose face is on fleek, but soul is on bleak. I know that's probably really cheesy, but yeah, face on fleek, soul on bleak. If you are someone who finds happiness in having a nice outer appearance, there's nothing wrong with that. I think we all, to some degree, like to have a nice outer appearance, but you also do not, want to be someone who looks good and just has an ugly heart. I think growing spiritually, growing mentally, growing physically, glowing physically, it takes work. And I think maintaining a good heart in such a sometimes bleak world takes work. And that's why I always try to make it a point to tell you guys, like, don't ever look at these videos and look at this pretty lighting and look at, the color saturation and the facial structure and the personality, thinking, oh, this person has it all together. I'm not talking about just one person. I just mean influencers in general. Don't ever just assume like, oh, this person has it all together. They've figured out life. They know what it's about. That's not the case. So we really have to be careful, like, how we approach social media. And I definitely do not think social media is a bad thing at all whatsoever. But it's very easy, very, very easy to get wrapped up in the visuals of it all. And speaking of social media, it's really interesting because I was watching a video the other day, and in the comments section, the video was about a really successful YouTuber who I believe has probably reached the millionaire mark, and people were in the comment section like, get a regular job like the rest of us. It's actually really funny to me when people don't realize how much work goes into YouTube. I get it. It's a new venture. It's still pretty new. In the whole sense of things, YouTube is still pretty new. Depending on, the niche, depending on the creator, there are people that are really successful on YouTube. And it's funny because people in the comment section were talking about this person like, oh, they just need to get a regular job. And it's like, hold on, wait a minute. You're telling me that someone who made the Forbes list should go get a regular job and stop doing what's making them successful and what they're happy about? That just kind of lets you see how traditional paths of life really affect the way we think, because all our lives we've been told, if you're smart, you can go to school, you can get a really good job once you graduate, live well, live comfortably. Yeah, that was true. It was probably true, during our parents' time. But right now, there are so many people I know that are college graduates and don't even have jobs in the fields they studied in, or have jobs and are working for very little money. Not to talk of the amount of college graduates out there that are literally drowning in debt. drowning in debt. Right now, entrepreneurship, owning your own business, seems to be what a lot of people are resorting to, on top of the fact that they're passionate about whatever it is that they're doing. And I think part of it is just also a lack of knowledge. They don't understand how YouTube works. They don't understand how like brand deals and all that stuff works. YouTube is far greater than just the makeup niche and the makeup community. And there are people who have made a significant amount of money on YouTube. However, I don't think that they've become incredibly successful just from YouTube views. These people have become incredibly successful financially because they have multiple streams of income coming in. And the funniest part about it is that people are hating on those who have found success through social media. Because, I mean, YouTube is just one way you can, make a living off of social media. To me, the funny thing is that a lot of these people who complain about other people being able to make a living off of social media, they usually don't understand what it takes to be able to make a living off of social media. It is time consuming, and for the first year or several years, you're not getting any money out of it. It might even cost you to be able to put out content on social media. At the end of the day, I think it's just a lack of knowledge and being stuck in our ways. A lot of times, what we know is what hinders us. We know a certain path, we know a certain thing, we know a certain trade, and we only stick to that. We don't ever try to learn new things or learn about different perspectives, and that's what keeps us stuck. In a world like this that's rapidly changing with technology and everything else, you have to be able to adapt, and you have to be able to accept change. You know what I mean? So when it comes to change in society, change in our personal lives, change in the way the system is run, I feel like I'm one of those people who, I don't necessarily resist change, but I do feel like I'm probably more willing to accept and adapt to it. Probably a bit more than your average person. So if people are finding, success on social media, let them do them. I don't see how that's a problem at all. Taking Royal Highness. What are these YouTubers gonna do once YouTube shuts down? They'll probably adapt, Great innovators of the world, they adapted. They either, created the change or went with the change. And to be honest, to some degree, very successful people are often seen as being completely crazy. When you have a vision, that vision is not meant to be understood by anyone else but you. So don't be surprised if other people think you are insane or they don't understand it. That's because they're not meant to understand it. And that's something that I have come to accept, not just about businesses, but I just think about life in general and any life decisions that we make. Going back to the whole YouTube thing, people might think, oh, it's unfair for some of these YouTubers to, make so much money just to sit there in front of a camera and talk, and then to sit at the computer all day and edit. But at the end of the day, I don't know what those other YouTubers are doing. A lot of YouTubers spend a lot of time creating content, and I don't really think anyone can be a millionaire just based off of YouTube views alone. So what I was gonna say is people also don't understand how long it takes to put up a YouTube video. So for me personally, to film a video takes me anywhere from, 5 hours when I first started. I think now it's probably anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. And the more I film, the quicker I get at it, because I'm not a makeup artist. I'm naturally not very fast at doing makeup. And then to edit a video takes me anywhere from 5 to 8 hours. And when I first started, that number was way higher, like 10, 12. I'm telling you, it's not easy. Mind you, I'm someone with a quote unquote regular job. You know what I mean? And my job is not easy by any means. I'm dealing with a lot of difficult situations. Working in the ER really puts things into perspective. You're dealing with sick people. You're dealing with time constraints, an incredibly stressful job environment. Sick patients, sometimes angry family members. You're dealing with death. I think that's the biggest stumbling block or biggest obstacle. As someone who has a regular job, YouTube it's still not easy. And I think people also don't really understand, like, you know, what it takes to not only put up these videos, but to also do it in a way that is entertaining. You know, I don't want to put up a video that you guys are not going to like or you guys are not going to watch. A lot of people ask, you know, what do I use? What's my filming setup like? What's my equipment like? I always have that information in the description box of every single one of my videos. So, I mean, obviously not everyone looks at the description box. You know, you guys have been asking me like, "Oh, film, you know, film your filming equipment. I want to see what your setup is like, blah blah blah." If I showed you guys what my filming setup looks like right now, I don't think anyone would believe me. And I've even tried to tell my friends this and they don't believe me. My setup is interesting because I am filming in a very, very small space. I film in my room and I film in a little small section of my room. So literally as I'm going around, like, for me to get to my camera, and the thing is the lens that I use is a 50mm lens, so it's really zoomed in. For me to get to my camera, I have to go through literally a maze to get to my camera. To leave my room, I have to go through a maze. This is when my filming equipment is up, by the way. I have to duck and, you know, put my leg over stuff, and it's actually kind of a bit of a hot mess. I do want to show my filming setup one day so I can really drive the point forward that you literally can use anything at your disposal. The resources that you need, you'd be surprised how many resources you can use. I actually have because I use my laptop as my monitor. I have my laptop on a stool and I have stacks of old nursing books and boxes on top of that stool, and then I set my laptop on top of that. That's just one example of what my filming setup is like. I literally just use whatever I can. I think what you guys will probably be the most shocked about is just how small my filming space is. I really wish I had a larger filming space because it sucks. It sucks having to, you know, get out my softbox, put it together, get my tripod, get my camera, you know, get all the stands. I have to move furniture around. I have to set everything up, make sure everything looks, you know, somewhat presentable. This takes me about an hour to do, just to set up. And it sucks because whenever I have, like, you know, that creative flow going, and I'm like, oh, I really want to sit down and I want to film this. By the time that I have set everything up, I'm mentally drained that creative flow either stops completely or really slows down. So yeah, if I had it my way, I would definitely have a filming setup or situation whereby everything is already in place. All I have to do is walk into that room, turn my camera on, and just go, because it makes the process faster. It saves time, and that's time that can be spent, you know, doing other stuff that's productive. The lens that I use, I only use one lens for all my videos. That 50mm lens. That is the lens that I use for all my videos. And it's a really zoomed in lens. So it would also kind of possibly pose a challenge filming my setup with that lens because, again, the space that I am in is incredibly small. So yeah, I would like to show you guys one day. I think it would definitely encourage some of you for sure, just because I think there's this perception of, you know, YouTubers with, my setup is not as bougie as you think it is. And that's another thing. I think there's also an obsession with quality. Everyone wants to have the best quality and everything, but to be honest, quality is not the first place you should be starting, because that's not what will keep people on your channel. It's several different factors, including who you are, what you stand for. Maintaining a sense of authenticity is important. My YouTube story, I don't think I've ever really sat down and told you guys my YouTube story and how I got on YouTube. I don't even think my friends know this, actually. This channel is not the first YouTube channel I've had. I had a YouTube channel for a little bit, and it was years ago. I think it was like a weight loss channel or something. It was something random. It wasn't something I was like passionate about like I am about makeup. 2008 or 2009, but I'm pretty sure it was 2008. Where I just wanted to do a channel for fun. You know, as I told you guys, I've always loved visual stuff, especially the ability to create art through digital content and all that stuff. So I was like, oh, let me just, have up a YouTube channel, because I was watching a lot of weight loss channels back then. So I was thinking, okay, this is something I want to do. Maybe this is a way that I can be, accountable on this journey. So I made a YouTube channel. I put up, I think it was 2 videos that I put up. I wasn't really serious about it, to be honest, just because I didn't really know what to do. But, I made them videos. I used Windows Movie Maker to make my videos, and even though I use Windows Movie Maker, I still tried to make it look the best that I could. I think this was when the whole copyright thing was like just taking off. I go to my channel, and I think either one of the videos was completely deleted and the other one was had the audio muted. I think one of them was completely deleted, and I was just like, oh heck no. So after that, I just got discouraged, and I was like, you know what, let me just mind my business and live my life. I mean, the subject matter of the channel wasn't even something that I was truly passionate about. The thing is, if you want to do anything, whether it's weight loss or whatever, you'll find a way to make yourself accountable. I don't really believe everyone benefits from telling other people in order to keep themselves accountable. I think self-accountability is just my own way of being able to achieve the things I want to achieve. Other people are different. So years went by, I was still watching YouTube, and I would watch a lot of the OG beauty YouTubers. I used to watch like Beauty by JJ. What was her name? Songbird Diva for Life. Does she still go by that name? I don't know if she still does. So there were so many people I would watch. Some of them have stopped creating, and some of them have gotten off of YouTube and gone on to do other things. And I really got into makeup. I would watch YouTube videos on makeup. That was my entertainment. When I started using makeup, this was in college. Yeah, I used to be anti-makeup, surprisingly. For whatever reason, I think because I'm just a visual person, I've always kind of enjoyed art. Somehow I just took a liking to makeup when I started practicing more. And, people would tell me, oh, you're getting really good at this. You should have your own YouTube channel. I had, some people telling me this for years. And a lot of times I would brush it off. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. And more people started telling me, and it just never occurred to me to start one. And then my excuses evolved. Oh, but everyone has a YouTube channel now. Everyone is doing it. I don't want to be like, all those other people that are just doing YouTube just because, you can make money off of it now. Everyone's doing it. I don't want to. Who's going to watch my makeup tutorials? Who's going to really care? I stuck to that excuse for a very long time until one of my friends, Chica, she's probably going to be upset that I just name dropped her, but whatever. Hey girl, she had been telling me for a while, start a YouTube channel, start a YouTube channel, start a YouTube channel. And I was like, nah, I'm cool. I don't think if I used this on a video, I think I have. This is a sleek makeup face contour kit in dark, I believe. So one day Chica was talking to me. She was like, no, seriously, you need to have a YouTube channel. Like, you do makeup so well, and you could also use it to inspire and encourage people. Mind you, this was probably like her umpteenth time telling me to start a channel. For whatever reason, that day something just clicked. I don't know what it was. Granted, many people have told me to start a channel, and for whatever reason, I just think God used her to speak to me in a way that I would understand. I'd always kind of said like, oh, no one's gonna watch me, no one's really gonna be interested. There's so many other people out there doing makeup on YouTube, and they're doing a great job. Like, what do I have to contribute? And for whatever reason, just what she said to me that day just really stuck with me. And in that moment, I remember thinking, wait a minute. And then I went home that night. What she said kept going through my head. Start a YouTube channel, start a YouTube channel. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. So many people have told me to start a YouTube channel, and I never really thought about it. And for whatever reason, something she said just resonated with me to the point that I was like, okay, fine, I'll start a channel, but it'll just be every now and then. I'll just use my regular, because I already had the camera that I use to vlog now. I had already purchased it. I already had it because a year before that, I had visited Nigeria. So I already had my Sony RX100. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to use my Sony RX100, and that'll be my camera for YouTube. I think days later, I did a test run with the Sony RX100. And I absolutely hated it. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way everything was coming out, and I was like, no, 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 I can't do this. I'm one of those people where I feel like if you're gonna do something, do it well. And I realized I couldn't use that vlog camera to put up the kind of videos that I wanted to. So I thought, okay, I'll just use my brother's camera, because my brother did photography on the side and he had a Canon EOS 60D. And so I bought soft boxes, I did test runs, and that was how my first video was born. But I hated that 60D because it didn't autofocus. So I would film videos and be completely out of focus, and I absolutely hated it. So I went ahead and I made the investment to purchase my own camera, which is a camera I use now, the Canon EOS 80D. And the lens that I use is also my brother's lens. I still use his lens. It's the 50mm lens. And I think he just told me last month that they've stopped making this lens now, which really sucks if that's true, because it's so cheap compared to all the other lenses out there that give you a nice bokeh, whatever, effect, where like the background looks blurred and everything. That was how my YouTube channel was born. This still gives me the same feelings every time I put it on. Oh my god. So far, this YouTube journey has been very interesting, difficult, but very rewarding. It's so amazing to me how you can touch lives from all over the world. You know what I mean? I've had people message me about like just about everything, and it's really amazing the power of social media and how many lives you can truly touch without even knowing it. That's the crazy part. So yeah, it's definitely not something that I take lightly. I'm gonna mix this in with some La Peach. But yeah, overall, I'm excited to see what this year brings, how things go as far as my personal life and on YouTube. I'm gonna add some Fenty Beauty Trophy Wife highlighter onto the inner corner and just bring it up a little bit. I think my main goal for this year is to just be happy, to live a life of peace, a life of joy. You guys know, like, I'm naturally very goofy. Like, that's just how I am. The few close friends that I do have will tell you, like, I'm just crazy silly sometimes. But I think we're all crazy to some degree, in our own way. So yeah, I'm a very silly, goofy person naturally, but I love having these deep conversations. I've always loved having these deep conversations. It makes life so much more worth it. Not saying that talking about makeup and jewelry and clothes and all that fun stuff is a bad thing, not at all. But I do think that having a balance is important. And I can't really say this is a new development, or like as I get older, I crave these kind of conversations. No, I've always been like this. Even when I was in high school, I've just always been the kind of person that didn't have a problem talking about things that other people would normally have a problem talking about. I want a little bit more glow on the upper lip. My main goal in life is to do what makes me happy, do more of what makes me happy, especially. Oh, what got all over my mirror? I think a lot of times we do certain things and make certain decisions based on the fact that we know people around us will be happy with us making those decisions. Whereas it can sometimes be at the expense of our own happiness and joy. At the end of the day, you're the one who's going to have to deal with the consequences of your decisions. So if you making certain decisions based on what other people want you to do and you're not happy about it, then don't do it. So that's basically where I've been at as far as like my own mental space. Just a lot of times, I know even I'm guilty of this. A lot of times we think that things are going good because they just so happen to be going good. But we also have a role to play in it. We have a role to play in the quality of our lives, the trajectory of our lives, the way we react to certain situations going on in our lives. And for some of us, that means we're going to have to work our butts off. That's just what it comes down to. But the alternative is to sit there, complain, and live a life of stagnancy. And it's actually, I feel like it's actually harder to accept things the way they are, do nothing about it, and be stuck in that same position that you absolutely hate, than to work hard to make your life better, or have more peace, or have more happiness, or more joy, or do more of whatever it is that makes you happy. It's so much easier to just complain and sit there. It really is. I want to say eBay. I'm not sure, but these are just like some random lashes that I bought online a while back and I never used them, so I'm going to use them in this video. Back to the whole content thing. This is something I forgot to mention to you guys earlier. I do want to do fashion videos eventually and actually wig making videos because I have been dabbling in wig making. I've made about 3 wigs now. I'm still trying to improve on my whole wig making thing, but I feel like I am getting better. And I want to get into like styling the wigs and all of that. And you guys know I love trying stuff out. So I kind of want to try all that creative stuff with, you know, hair and wigs on camera as well. But again, the issue is currently space. As much as I would love to do, you know, try-ons and more fashion-based videos, I just don't have the space for it right now. But hopefully I can do something about that in 2018. Either get like a different lens or just do something to where I can have up more of those fun videos. I love makeup. Makeup is awesome. I'm always going to be doing makeup related content and probably nail content as well. But I just feel like I want to diversify my content. These are the kind of lashes that are actually like perfect for people who don't want too much. When I first started my channel, all I did was makeup tutorials. And I think after a while, doing the same kind of videos can get pretty boring. There are literally thousands of makeup tutorials out there. And I think now a lot of people are just kind of more interested in, okay, how does the makeup work? So reviews are more watched right now. So again, having to adapt, it's still the same type of content that I enjoy doing because it is makeup and beauty related, but it's not specifically tutorials. So I guess that's an example of the whole like, you know, change and being able to adapt thing. And it's not to say that makeup tutorials are not big because there are people who still watch them, but I just feel like starting out as a smaller YouTuber, just sticking to tutorials is a little harder now than, or a lot harder now than it was years ago. So if anyone is wondering, the lipstick that I have on my lips is from Mented Cosmetics. It's one of their lipsticks in the shade Foxy Brown. This look with the scarf and with the earrings, this just screams fancy, even though this is supposed to be like super chill. I think this angle right here, we go out for tea on Wednesdays. We don't do Gucci, we do Cartier. Is that even a comparison? So I feel like there was a lot more that was probably on my heart to say, but I didn't get to quite say it just yet because I was still warming up. This is just who I am. I'm sorry. I'm always gonna have something to say. If you guys want me to do these kind of videos, let me know. I feel like it kind of gives you a look into my perspective on things, and that might be something some of you are interested in, just because some of you do send me messages asking for advice on different stuff, and I just felt like, you know, having a video like this can kind of give you a better idea of who I am. Granted, I do like to keep it primarily about the makeup, and given the culture of YouTube right now in the beauty community, I do not blame people for not being more open about their personal lives. I personally like to keep my personal life away from this, but it doesn't stop me from, you know, being able to express to you guys how I feel about certain things and my take on the world. And so yeah, this is the look that ended up coming through today. I really like just sitting down, putting on makeup, and being able to talk to you guys. So if you guys want me to do more chit chat, get ready with me's, let me know. I will do them. So here is to a wonderful 2018. Just gonna cheers with setting spray. I hope all of you have a peaceful, happy, joy-filled, laughter-filled, prosperous year. I want nothing more than for all of us to really thank you guys so much for all of your support. It really means a lot to me. I know I say this all the time, but coming from someone who thought that people wouldn't want to watch her on YouTube, and we're almost at 100,000, it's just crazy to me. And Not only that, but the fact that you guys encourage me, and I don't think you know how much you encourage me, but the messages you send me, the comments you leave, you really truly encourage me. Especially kind of starting out in the beginning, there were times where I wanted to stop YouTube altogether just because I didn't feel like I fit the mold of what a beauty influencer is. And it's funny because the more I am on this platform, the more I realize why it's important for people like me to be on here. You know, the weird, the goofy, the silly, the sometimes deep and really, really deep. We're not all the same. We're never going to be. And at the end of the day, those who are meant for you will come. So if you are a YouTuber starting out or thinking about starting a YouTube channel or any venture for that matter where you don't feel like you fit in, that's even more perfect because you don't have to fit in. You're not supposed to fit in. Yeah, that is all that I have for you wonderful, beautiful people today. I don't know what accent that is, but whatever it is, I like it. Anyone who watched this entire video, you deserve a special prize. You really do. I haven't figured out what it is yet, or if there will be a prize, but you deserve one. If you're not subscribed and you have listened to me ramble all throughout this video and you think, this girl is I kind of like her. She's a little weird, but I kind of like her. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell to get all notifications. That way you never miss an upload from me. And if you're not following me on social media, girl, what are you waiting for? I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Snapchat, I'm on Facebook, all of that. So yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Lord willing, stay blessed. Bye.